Democrats
The Republicans.
not to be pro-gun or to be pro-gun?
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
I'm just trying to understand your point.
The Republicans get paid
listening.
to not pass gun legislation and to tell you the left are taking away your guns.
Oh, okay. I see the point you're getting at. So it sounds like it'd be easy to find common ground then, because
it would be if you could just have it in your brain to have some logic. Then we could totally come to common ground. It would literally be so simple to come to common ground, like so easy.
Well, me and you. I mean, right now. I mean, why can't we agree on gun control?
Because you're arguing with me.
About what? What law?
I don't know what you're arguing. You literally, Joe Biden tried to pass some laws to make sure background checks were more solid and we didn't give it to crazy people. And you're saying that you don't want to support the Democrats because they're trying to take away your guns.
Okay, so that's a fair point. Red flag laws. Let's discuss that.
Why do we need to talk about just red flag laws?
That's just one example. Of
why are we just going with one example,
maybe we can find common ground on?
Sir, we don't need to come to common ground. I want to come to common ground. How about this? Can we come to common ground on this? How about this? Let's come to common ground on this. There are 33 industrialized nations on this planet, or what we used to call first world countries on this planet. Okay? None of them have a gun violence problem. None of them. Okay? None of them have a serious mass shooting problem. None of them have kids dying at a mass rate and have at the highest level of preventable deaths in the United States. No other country has to do school shooter drills at their schools. Okay? None of the 32 of the 33 other countries, okay, have all figured it out. Okay? Why haven't we?
Why do you think that is?
Because people like you are like, the Democrats are trying to take my guns away. And so therefore we never get to an actual logical solution to anything because you want to sit here, okay, and try to argue NRA talking points and let Republicans get paid by the NRA to let our children fucking die.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've really talked any talking points. I mean, I can. So, for example, let's take gun deaths around, 70?
Sir, you have literally been talking points the entire time. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you not realize you are? Is that what it is?
I don't get why you would cut me off there.
Sir, you said I haven't been talking any talking points. I've been on the phone with you for, 3 hours, it feels like. Okay?
I appreciate it.
That wasn't a compliment. Okay?
I'm just saying I appreciate your time.
Okay. You have literally been doing talking points the entire time. Okay? Okay. But your talking points are you don't realize that you're even having talking points, right? You don't even and that's the thing. You don't even realize that you're talking points because it's so ingrained into you that it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So, but anyways, I'm going to move on to the next caller because again, I've been on the phone with you for way too long. Way too long. But anyways, have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats like I'm getting ready to read out right now. Oh, no, I didn't put that. Oh, that one should be coming up. I was worried that one hasn't popped up yet. The landscape live should be actually back up and clearly running now. I did an update yesterday, which is why I wasn't live on Twitch yesterday. So hopefully it actually holds up this time. I think it will, though. But it's been, oh my God, it's been rough. It's been rough today. We've been trying to keep everything going and I don't know what's going on. It's been wild. See if I can do it this way. No, I can't do it that way. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. Brad Storm, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate this. Said, hey. And, oh no, we're going back into the words masticating now. It means I'm chewing food. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Taurus for the 5 gifted. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Also, Cool Eric, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Sorry I can't put it up on the screen because I messed up and didn't turn something else back on. But it says, because I have a fully functioning brain, that's why I support Trump. Why don't you come talk about it and we'll go from there. All right, we're going to keep this conversation going, keep it going. Y'all, if you'd like to support the live, again, I do have super chats open, memberships open. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, they're all in my bio like normal. But more importantly, just make sure you guys are chatting in here, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that follow button if you haven't already. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Messed up and didn't turn something else back on, but
Yep.
this is because
All right. Y'all, if you're going to call in, please turn off the live when the phone answers. Okay. There is a delay and I do not want to hear myself. Hello, how are you?
Oh, hi, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, but I do. I just came across your channel, and you were talking about firearm safety and all the regulations and stuff. And I just wanted to call and just have a conversation about it.
No, I'm not really interested, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, you said to call, so I apologize.
Oh, no problem. I just don't want to just stay on one subject for an hour. So just kind of boring
what's
for
the
everybody.
subject now, by chance?
It was, do you still support Trump? You already said no, so there's no, like, we don't need to go any further into this. Yeah. So anyways, have a good day.
It's insane.
Hello, how are you?
Oh my God, no fucking way. What's up? Wait, can I swear on here?
I guess. Sure.
Yo, it's Malthus. What up?
It's what?
Malthus. I was talking in the YouTube chat. Anyway, hey, that guy literally sounds ridiculous. So I get your point when you're talking about these gun laws, but the problem is regardless, there's still the factor of illegal gun sales. That
Yeah.
it's like trying to outlaw drugs, right? So I hear what
Yeah,
you're saying,
sir,
but
when we
at the end of
outlawed
the day,
drugs-
I don't.
Yeah, when we
Go
outlawed
ahead,
drugs,
sorry.
then we had less of a drug problem in this country. Yeah.
We have
As we
less of a
outlaw
drug
drugs,
problem is what you're saying?
yeah, as we outlaw drugs, we have less of a drug problem in this country. When other countries have outlawed guns, they've had less of a gun problem in their countries.
Like which countries?
Like every industrialized country on the planet.
No, just give me an example. Don't say
Germany,
industrial, give me an
Italy,
actual example.
frickin' the UK, Japan, South Korea, frickin' you name Portugal,
Yeah, but
Spain,
just because their
fucking Finland,
gun
Norway,
violence goes down doesn't mean
Sweden,
violence goes down.
Australia.
Yeah, but violence is still high regardless of guns or not.
Not as high as it was before, no.
Like, what do you mean as high as it was before? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
UK
always
outlawed
been
guns and their gun problem almost completely went away. Yeah, which means their mass
Wait, which
shootings went
country?
away,
Hold
their
on,
high
so
levels of violence
say
went
again,
away.
Which country?
UK?
Okay, but the thing is, people are still going out and getting stabbed and murdered. And
Yeah,
like,
their
so
stabbing
you-
rate in the UK is still lower than ours. We have a higher stabbing rate per capita in the United States than the UK does.
Okay,
So they don't
I mean,
have the
I-
gun violence, and they still have
okay?
a lower stabbing rate. But again, I already said I don't want to sit here and talk guns all day. Okay, I said to the
Okay.
last caller. Okay, but it's a ridiculous stance of saying outlawing something doesn't reduce it, because if that was the case, then there would literally never be a point for laws.
I'm just saying, I can agree with that fact, is it may lower it, but it's not going to shut it out completely. That's the problem.
Well, sir, if
like,
that's the case, then we should just make murder legal.
that's a little far-fetched.
Why? I mean, if we can't
for
shut it
that
out
jump.
completely, then we might as well legalize it, right?
No, I mean, that's super black and white, right? We can try our best as a society. Do we get things perfect? Of
Correct.
course
And we can
not.
try our
And
best as a
so-
society
so-
with gun control, and we're not doing that. You are 100% correct. We could try our best in order
so
to
what do you
actually create
propose
laws
is
that reduce in
the-
this
what do you
country,
propose
but
is
we've
the
chosen
fix
not
then?
to. That is
To ban-
100%
you want us
correct.
to ban guns? Is that what you're saying?
Sir, why is everything just ban guns?
No, I'm
Sir,
just asking.
the last
'cause I don't
guy
know.
said that
This
the
is
Democrats are
first time
taking. Sir, the last guy said that the Democrats are taking away your guns because we passed a law that said mentally fucking crazy people can't have guns.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Look,
Okay.
this is the first time I've actually tuned into the show.
Thank you.
so I'm
I
not
really
trying to-
appreciate that. I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back another time, but I'm tired of talking about guns. So have a good day. If you call in and you're trying to talk to me about guns right now, I will hang up the phone.
It's insane.
WA, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, so we have a moral, cultural, and upbringing problem in the United States? No, we have a gun problem in the United States. That's what we have. We have a gun problem. Anyways, hello. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
28.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
My mind, I got states' rights on my mind.
You have states' rights on your mind? States' rights to what?
Well, all right. I'm a little bit of an off-brand MAGA guy. Okay. I've been thinking about MAGA on my own for rather a long time now, and I genuinely think that Trump is setting up the baseline for what I think should happen personally. And it might seem accelerationalist in a sense, but
Oh God, not another accelerationalist.
I know. It's like that's what I know that some people have called me this, but
It's
I
insane.
personally view the 16th Amendment as the problem. It's the sole problem in this country, and I think it's the conversation that we haven't been having. And I think that that's what's causing our issues. And what I mean by this is that when we had the convention back in 1787, right, we didn't have like income taxes like we do now. It was more along the lines of property and stuff like that.
Oh my God, you're a sovereign citizen accelerationalist. God, fucking kill me.
Hold on.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hold
What did
on,
I do to deserve
hold
this
on.
today, chat? What did I do to deserve this?
Hold on. Just hear me out, okay?
I really don't
Just
want
hear
to.
me
Can
out.
you get to the point?
Okay. The point is that apportionment, the apportionment rule isn't being followed with taxation.
Yes, it is. Okay, income tax is 100% legal. Okay, that has been upheld by the Supreme Court on multiple occasions, and on top of that, income tax is better for us, because the reason why we went to income tax is because we got rid of tariffs, okay, which were hurting us economically, hurting us on the world stage, reducing our ability to produce, reducing our ability to export. Okay, so we actually put in income taxes in order to expand our economy, and it absolutely fucking worked.
Right. Which I'm not saying that it hasn't, because there's definitely been benefits to this. But I also think that there are there are also implications with this that come along with it.
Everything has an
where we have
implication.
Right, and
It's
everything's
insane.
nuanced with history, right? Like it's not just all black and white. It's not just everything is perfect, right? We don't live in a perfect world. That's not reality. We live in a very imperfect world. But what I'm saying is that I think that we should be leaning more towards the states taking a lot more responsibility and taking up some of the responsibility that the federal government has and doing it on their own and trying to figure out ways where
Like
we can
what?
be able to cut like the education. Education is one of those things.
What do you want the
I
states to do in
definitely think-
education?
Well, to be able to have their own kind of standardized thing instead of like having, with the federalized standardized testing, I feel like it's just like one straight line and everyone has to march into this one door, and if you don't make it through that one door, then you can't make it at all. It's like that.
Sir, literally states already have complete control over their own curriculum, and they have varying standards of education within that. The only thing that happens with the federal testing is literally a bare minimum. And when you actually, and if anybody's underneath that bare minimum, hell, people in many states like Mississippi and Alabama and Arkansas are much above that minimum and literally have zero chance of ever going to a community college. Okay. Like literally it is, can you bare minimum read at like a 5th grade level when you graduate high school? Like it is literally the lowest of lowest standards. Most of the standardized testing that kids actually go through is actually state ran.
Right. Well, I think that I feel like the educational standards in our country need to be raised. Like that's my argument.
But you're making the argument that the states need to do it, and the states already have the ability to do that, and they're not doing it.
Right, which I'm arguing that the federal state Department of Education kind of stops them from having that ability. By having it like federalized. It needs
having
to be
what
more
federalized?
decentralized. like the Department of Education.
Sir, you're just saying the Department of Education has it federalized, and I'm saying what is it, and you're saying having it federalized.
Okay.
What
okay.
are they having federalized? That's what I'm asking you.
Education.
What part of it, sir?
The standardized testing.
Standardized testing for the most part is ran by the states.
Okay.
What state do you live in?
I've lived in multiple states, but I live in Ohio now.
Okay, I live in Florida. The standardized testing in Florida is done by Florida. It's not done by the federal government. It's not done by the Department of Education. It's done by Florida.
Okay, well then my problem is the standardized testing. That's my problem. I just feel like standardized testing just makes everybody stupid. I feel like they're just trying to put us into this one little box where we have to succeed into this one little box, and instead of expanding it and actually allowing people to have their gifts be actually explored.
Yeah, but the problem is that you're saying your argument is not, okay, if you want to have an argument against standardized testing, I'm 100% okay with that. I think standardized testing is fucking stupid. Okay? I think that freaking teaching kids in order to pass a test is dumb. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? But
Yeah,
your argument is, but sir, your argument is not whether or not we should have standardized testing. Your argument is that we should send it back to the states, and it's already at the states. It's already there. You're complaining about the federal Department of Education, which doesn't do that, and you're saying we need to put it in the pocket of the states who are already doing that. What?
What do they do then? What
Mostly
does the federal
funding.
Department of Education do?
Yeah, they do
Okay.
IEPs, stuff like that. Lots of money for disabled children, making sure that children that are disabled have schools that actually fit their needs. Right, things like Pell
Okay,
Grants
I'm
and
not against
different
that.
federal aids. They do things like FAFSA, right? They have they guide and regulate the like your federal loans and stuff like that, right? They make sure they're insured
Right.
through that. They make sure
Yeah.
that rural schools have the ability to exist, because do you know what schools are actually paid for out of?
I would assume the taxes.
What
but
taxes?
You probably wouldn't know better than I do.
What-
I don't know. State taxes, probably.
Specifically property taxes. So where you have higher property values, you have better schools because more money is put into it. That's why schools in more poor areas are not normally as good. And one of the big problems you have with that is places like rural areas where there's not that many places around, right? Where their schools can't even exist. So they come in and they subsidize those schools to be able to make sure that kids in rural areas can have schools, right? They do things like subsidize things like Head Start programs, right? Things that help get kids ready for school as they go through. These are the things that the Department of Education actually does. None of the stuff that you're complaining about is what the Department of Education does. That's what states already do.
Okay, well then maybe maybe my view is just a little off kilter. Maybe I can admit that. Like I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong, but I'm just saying that I just don't necessarily like the idea of a faraway land for like these people that are like 5,000 miles away from me, which are more like they're a little closer to me than that. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It just like I don't like the idea of people making decisions for me and my education and for my children's education, which I don't have any children. But if I were to have any children, I don't like the idea of someone from far away making decisions about that. Now, and that's my whole gripe with that. I've viewed the federal government and I've watched them abuse their authority multiple times, and it's upset me greatly. And I do not like the idea that they just have an endless streamline of money going towards that. And I think that there needs to be something that like stops that, and it needs to be going more towards the states.
Again, sir, what is your there's tons of complaints I have about the federal government. Okay. But saying send it to the state doesn't help anything. Okay. While we have, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Okay. I'll give you a great example. All right. Oklahoma and Mississippi are two of the lowest states in education in the United States, bottom 5. Okay.
Yeah.
And instead of using their money, and a lot of their money that actually that goes from the Department of Education is actually given to them from blue states, right? California actually, is a donor state, right? That actually gives money to the federal government. They don't get as much back as they can. So actually a lot of their money goes to that, and they have a lot of rural areas, right? They being almost last in education, both passed laws to make sure the 10 commandments are put in every classroom. Now, how do you think that helps their education?
Okay,
It's
I
insane.
kind of I was listening to what you were saying, but like that last bit, I wasn't able to fully comprehend.
Yeah,
Can you say
you're
that
fine.
again?
They said that instead of passing laws and paying, maybe paying teachers more, maybe getting better curriculum, maybe anything like that, right? Instead of doing those things, they're passing laws to make sure the 10 commandments get put in schools, in every classroom. How is that helping their education?
So I'm for separation of church and state. Like if it's a public school thing,
I'm
like,
glad that wasn't my point.
I'm not like, I don't think that's like, I personally think that the message of Jesus Christ should be known. Like
Sir,
I do
sir,
agree with that.
that's not the point. Sorry, I want to redirect you to the point. The question was, the states that have horrible education systems are passing laws about education that do nothing to help education. That was the point.
Right. So, and I agree. Like our state representatives need to be held to a higher standard. Like I agree. Like they need to be making sure that they need to be doing their job more efficiently and actually beneficial, and not necessarily just focusing on things that aren't necessarily going to give actual resources to the teachers or to the students or to the faculty itself. I think that should be their primary goal, is to figure out how they can get the most amount of money they can into education. Like, how can they do that? Like, that's what their goal should be.
Well,
but I don't feel like that's
Let me ask you a question. So Donald Trump is trying to get rid of the Department of Education. That means kids with disabilities probably won't have the ability to a certain level, especially within red states, to be able to get schooling, right? And if they are able to get schooling, they won't be able to get schooling at near the level that they were able to before. Okay.
So why can't the states take up that responsibility?
They can. Some states can. But not every state can. Because like I specifically said before, there are donor states and there are receiver states, right? So with states like California, big, large blue states that actually do very much concentrate on education, right? States like Massachusetts, very rich, number one in education country, states that actually concentrate on that, will probably take their tax money, send it back to the states, and they will actually put those to make sure that probably a lot of kids have actually probably better education than they did before. Okay. But poor states like Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, these states that are already low on education, don't have the money to put towards that because they're already leeching money off of blue states to survive.
Right. So what do you propose we do to fix that? Because personally, I think that there's got to be some kind of an interstate compact or something that we can be able to do, that we can have I don't know if a hedge fund would be the right terminology, but that we could be able to put all this money that all the states, in a sense, like the free parking lot in Monopoly, where you pile all the money, and when the states need something, they can be able to direct it towards that specifically. Like there's got to be a way to do that, because I feel like I don't know what is stopping us from actually having real education and having real resources going to that. There's got to be something that can boost that. And
Sir, hold on. Just real quick. So you think that there should be a pot of money that's all donated in by all the states, right? And I'm just trying to I'm trying to just repeat what you said so I make sure I didn't get it wrong. Okay? That's all. You think that there should be a pot of money, like a slush fund, okay, that can all go in from all the states, and as states need it for things like education, especially for kids for disabilities and stuff like that, they can pull from that pot of money. Is that what you said?
That's basically it. Yes.
That's what the Department of Education does. That is literally the entire point of the Department of Education. The entire point of the federal. Hold on, sir. The entire point of what the Department of Education does is exactly what you are describing that you want. That is exactly what their entire their whole point is, to take tax money from all of these states, put it in a fund, and then disperse it to states that need it, regardless of how much money that state has.
Where it is in the hands of the feds. That's you're missing the point.
So
dude.
you want
You're missing my
exactly what the
point.
Department of Education does, which they do very
No,
effectively, which
I
they do
want what the
very
Department of
effectively. The
Education
federal
does,
government,
but I want it in the hands of the state.
the federal government doesn't
want it
do.
in the hands
The
of the
federal
state.
government does
You're
very
missing my
little
point.
effectively. This is the one thing they do really effectively. So you want to actually do exactly what the federal Department of Education does, but you want it at the states, which completely ruins the point because you said you wanted a giant fund from all the states in one spot. So it cannot be state ran if it's coming from all the states. That's the point of the federal government.
But you missed what I said earlier was an interstate compact on that. I'm not talking about the federal government.
You mean
I'm
like the
talking about an
Constitution?
interstate compact. Yes, like the Constitution. So we can be able to have something that we can bypass the federal government and not have their hands in our pockets.
Sir, the federal government is an interstate compact. That's what
I know
it
that.
is. Sir, the entire point of the Constitution is an interstate compact. Okay?
Yes.
It's 50 free
I'm not
states,
arguing
okay,
about
that have a compact with each other, okay, that certain things for the betterment of all the states need to be ran by a singular entity, i.e. our military, right? Our military in this country would not work well under each state trying to get their own little piece in. It needs to be a federally run program where all the people and all the money comes from all the states, and an interstate compact is that we will support the military and the military will protect all. That the interest of all the states, and cool thing like the Department of Education and the military, the states get to send their representatives to make decisions, okay, to give the states
Right.
representation to be able to support those federal programs. That is why we have people that sit on Congress on boards for the military, while we have people that from each state that sit on boards for education. All right? Literally, sir, what
Right.
you are describing is literally the entire point of the federal government.
Right, but I still feel like you're not really understanding my point.
Oh, I am understanding wholly. I am.
So what
I
is your
holistically
point
understand
then?
this entire
Explain it
thing.
to me then.
You want exactly what the
Explain it.
federal government does to be done by something not called the federal government,
Yes.
but does exactly
I
what the
don't like
federal
it.
government does.
Yeah, but I don't want the federal government in charge of that. I just
Sir,
don't
whoever
trust
did
them.
it,
They have literally
Yeah.
broken my trust.
whoever
so many
did it,
times.
whoever did it would just become the new federal government.
What? Say
Yeah,
that again?
if you got rid of the federal government and then had a whole group of other people do the exact same thing that the federal government was doing, that's still the federal government. You're just changing it.
Okay, I'm not following.
That is unfortunately very aware to me.
So what you're saying is that what my proposal is just wrong because it's the same thing as the federal government, but it's just not the federal government. Right?
Exactly. Well, it actually is
So
the
that's
federal
why it's
government.
wrong.
It actually is the federal government.
Right, which I just don't. I have said that they have proven themselves to be
No, sir,
unworthy
that
of our
thing
trust.
that
That's our
you're
government.
creating
They
in
have-
your
they've
head
proven
is
themselves
still the
unworthy,
federal
dude.
government. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. That thing that you're inventing in your head is still the federal government.
Right, but it would be state led, and it wouldn't be.
You
involved
can't
in the Fed.
state lead for all. Then who leads it? All the states
don't
individually
know.
lead one group project. That's called Congress.
The federal government would still.
That's
the federal
called
government would
Congress.
Still be in charge of it. You'd have to understand it. The Congress would have to be the one that allows this in the first place. You have to understand.
If you
that
got all
Congress
the
would be
states
one that would
together
allow it.
in like an
And they would be the ones
compact.
that actually allow hold on. They would allow the states to be able to do this, and they would be able to. It would be under their permission, and it would be under their oversight, right? So it's still there, right?
Yeah.
It would just expand it.
That's
It would just
Congress.
essentially
That is literally Congress.
Yeah.
That is why we have things like the Oversight Committee in Congress, because it is Congress's job within this interstate compact to oversee the processes of the thing running all of those, which is the federal government. The states send representatives to the
So do you trust the feds with their money? You know, a stroke there, bud? Really? It's super sad that you're just not able to comprehend basic shit.
Oh, goodness fucking gracious, dude. Okay.
All right. So do you trust the feds with their money?
All right. I think you actually broke me for a second. I think you actually broke me for a second. That's okay.
I know.
All right.
I know. I see that.
Yeah. Sorry. It is absolutely the most insane thing ever that literally you are just describing the federal government. And you're saying that the federal government, sir, stop talking for a sec. Stop talking for a sec. Okay. You are literally describing the federal government and then telling me how you don't like the federal government and saying that we need to replace it with literally exactly what our federal government is. And it's the most laughable and like I wish I thought you were trolling. Like, I truly wish I thought you were joking. Like, that you were just like up here to fuck with me. Like, and that would be like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like that'd be whatever, but like you're not. Like, and you're like dead serious, which is just, it's just the most this is just the most insane I do this 6 days a week, hours a day, every single day. And I have just never been part of such a ridiculous conversation.
So can you just answer one question for me?
Sir, I have answered so many more questions than I should have.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate that you can't just answer a basic question that I've been asking like 3 times now.
All right. Well, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings by that. But
No,
I'm going to move on to the next
I
person.
I don't care. Like,
Well, it sounds like you care, and it sounds like your feelings are hurt, okay? So, but I will say, sir, you are doing a group, like, I will agree with you this, all right? Whatever we're doing with our education system is 100% failing us, and I think that this conversation more than proves that. So, off of your original point, I will 100% agree with that point.
Because you can't comprehend.
So
what I'm talking about.
have
You're just
whatever day,
there.
and goodbye now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dude, I don't even know, dude. That was wild. Y'all, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't even know if my brain can even like fathom another. I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see. Adam, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said definitely don't support Don Trump. Thank you for the show. Thank you so much, Adam. I really appreciate that. Cool Eric says, with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate that. Says the UK doesn't border South America, which has the largest drug dealing organization in the world. To compare the UK to the United States is a terrible comparison. See what's happening to the UK. Now you get arrested for Facebook posts. Literally, we're on the way to be doing that exact same thing. And that's actually a completely misnomer of what's actually happening in that country. But second of all, I didn't compare it to the UK. He compared it to the UK by him asking me which countries to have this exact thing. And I started naming countries, and then he chose the UK. I didn't make that comparison. I personally would have chosen a country more like Japan, but it doesn't matter which country you choose. The point still lasts. But thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate that. And Cool Eric says, good people do not kill people with guns. They either protect with guns or they go hunting or something along those lines. Yeah, I agree with that. The problem is that we allow way too many bad people with guns to have guns here, and we don't do anything to stop it. OS says, "Cool, Eric. If now people are being put in jail for Facebook posts, would love a source for that. Then what would be that would be on the Trump administration." Thank you so much for this, OS. He's actually referring to this like complete bullshit thing that's happening in the UK. He's not even talking about something happening in the US, right? But again, he's worried about UK's laws and how they work and stuff like that. But literally, Donald Trump is trying to literally implement the same thing. Like literally. Like literally, the Attorney General of the United States said that they are going to prosecute people who say things that they don't like on social media. The Attorney General of the United States just said that. So I don't know what Cool Eric is talking about. Oh, here's Cool Eric again. Thank you so much for that, OS. I really appreciate that. It says, okay, thousands of people have been arrested in the UK for social media posts. I'm sorry, I confused you with stating Facebook specifically. I already addressed that, but thank you for the $5. Lovely said it's like they run head first into the point. Dude, that dude could not have hit the point harder. If that dude had hit the point any harder, he would have became the point. Okay? That dude, like the point was right there and just hit him as hard as he could, dude. That point couldn't have hit him any harder if his freaking life depended on it. That was wild. Anyways, thank you so much, Lovely Goddess, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. And just to write, thank you for all the jewels. I'm only going to throw this up once, but thank you for all the jewels. I've seen all of them coming through, so thank you so much, Just to Ghost Rider. I really appreciate that. All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I know we've had some problems with the horizontal live today, but if you guys would like to have like a little different aspect, I do have a horizontal live over here on YouTube too. That's going on. So if you'd like to support that, support me over there, that's a great place to come hang out too. Plus the chat is a lot calmer if you're into that. Plus the chat is a lot calmer if you're into that. But if you'd like to support, I do have super chats open. I like to put them up in between callers. So if you'd like to support the live, it really does mean a lot to me. Also, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all in my pay links, and they're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Insane.
How old are you?
52 in about 3 days.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Oh, never did.
Oh, smart man. But I am only looking for people that support Trump right now, boss. But I hope you have a good one.
Man.
Yeah, sorry. I'm running short on time for the night, so I really gotta keep it quick. It's my late starting night. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for answering the phone.
Is this like a robocaller? What is going on here?
No, I'm not a robocaller. I just have one of those voices.
Yeah, you also have like really bad reception, so it's kind of breaking in and out. Do you think you can get someplace with a better reception?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I was laying down, so that's probably what it was. Is this better?
It's insane.
Not really.
Okay. Can I try and call it again?
Sure, I'll let you try. Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Do you support Trump?
Okay, now I can tell it's breaking up.
All right. It does sound like AI, isn't it? It definitely sounds like AI. Bro, that has to be AI. That has to be a robot. There ain't no way. Hello, how are you? Someone said she sounds like Siri, dude. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
22.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do, yeah.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I'd be interested to hear your take on sort of, I feel like a lot of people kind of support Trump right now, more so because there's not really an alternative to vote for to support. So I'd kind of be interested to hear what your take is on that.
What do you mean there's not an alternative? There's a million alternatives.
Well, yeah, there are, but you know, when it comes down to voting in a primary election or even like a, you know, mayor or gubernatorial race or Congress or Senate, there's really two realistic options. So you can either choose to not participate in the system entirely or vote for a Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, first of all, there was tons of people within the Republican primary that ran against Trump, so you had all the choices in that. And then you had the other party, which was also better. So I don't really know what you're talking about here.
No, but dude, yes, technically, yes, there are, but you know, it's the same in the New York City mayor's race right now, where like, fine, there's a Republican candidate running, but there hasn't actually really been a Republican candidate taken seriously since Giuliani. So it's like, yes, technically there's a Republican candidate, but like that's not really in the question.
You're right, but that wasn't the case for the presidency.
But in the same way that when you're voting for president, a lot of people did not necessarily vote for Trump, rather than they voted against Kamala and a lot of the kind of policies that Democrats have been pushing nationally.
Like what?
And I think, you know, you see a lot
like
of
what
Democrats
policy?
lockstep. Just, you know, resisting like crime enforcement. Or
Whoa,
police
what
enforcement,
policy resisted crime
immigration
enforcement?
stuff. I'm talking about like the national crime crackdown, like you see, you know, Republican
We took
governors.
crime was literally at like freaking record lows under the Biden administration. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's because they changed the FBI reporting standards. It's not like a Republican conspiracy that's like an actual fact.
No, sir. They actually changed it, and they actually had a lot more reporting from those cities. And of the reporting of those cities that they had, crime was significantly down. Yeah, it wasn't a reporting issue, sir. It was actually freaking reporting data, and it was actually, that is true. That is 100% true.
That's just a blatant. That's just objectively not factual.
Okay, so then where's the objective facts that says that I'm lying?
I mean, I would have to comb through and actually go about finding it, but like I'm just saying, dude.
Well,
like,
I have the
you look at stuff
actual
like that.
FBI website where you could actually see any reporting procedure changes, and you can actually see that what actually we saw was actually a higher level of reporting. So I have the actual FBI policies and the actual FBI stats and the actual FBI data. So
Okay, fine, whatever.
you
Fine.
tell me how I'm objectively wrong.
Okay, fine, whatever. I can see that point, whatever. But it's a repeated pattern of people in urban centers and across the country not feeling that that's the fact. And like, fine, you can say that that's you know, that's maybe that's fear mongering, whatever. That's propaganda from Republicans. If that's your belief, fine, you can say that. But it comes down to a simple thing, like when you're trying to run a campaign, you have to give something.
Yeah.
You have to give people something to vote for.
Yeah. But that wasn't your point, sir. And we need to stay on the point for a second, okay? You said you're just saying
that is.
Now you're just saying it's people's feelings. So you went from it's
The
democratic.
the first point
sir,
that
you went from it's democratic.
First point that I made, sir. The first point that I made is that there's no alternative for a lot of
And
people.
yes,
because
and
they
then
don't
we were already
feel-
then we were
they don't feel the
discussing that.
Democrat-
Yeah.
that
But you said it was
that
actually
national
democratic. You
figures
said it
on the
was
left-
sir. You said it was resisting democratic policy. Okay, I'm asking you what democratic policy. You have not named any democratic policy, and now you were saying it's because people feel.
The
Do you
southern
hold on,
border,
sir?
the
Sir,
southern
hold on,
border.
hold on.
You
Let's
look at- you look at-
let's
you look at
hold
the-
on. Let's finish
look
up
at
talking.
look at the,
Be
the
quiet.
hotels, the
All right, I'm gonna
funding
mute
that the
you in
national-
about 3,
the federal government-
2, 1. We are talking about crime. Then I'll be more than happy to move on to immigration with you. Okay. Stop trying to pivot in the middle of my sentence. Okay. Do you know that since the year
All right,
2000, we have done polls on people and how they feel about crime? Did you know that?
Just make your point, dude.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How many years since the year 2000 have people said that they felt like crime was up in the United States?
Like, just make your point.
No, that's no fun. How many years do you think?
Just make your point, dude.
No, I'm good. Answer the question.
Like, I don't know off the top of my
How many
head
do you think?
How many years in like what poll are you referring to? Like, that's a very broad.
All right,
statement to
awesome.
ask me.
Well, if you actually polled people and across almost all polling since the year 2000, every single year since the year 2000, people have felt that crime is up. Okay, every single year. And except for a very small handful of those years, like maybe 3 years, crime was actually down in those years, right? Since the year 2000. But every year that crime goes down, people still feel like crime is up. Okay. So what you went from is saying, no, sir,
actually,
you said
no,
I could go ahead and make my point. I asked you to contribute. You chose not to. So now you can be quiet.
So
now you can be quiet. No, sir, now you can be quiet because I asked you to contribute. I asked you to contribute and you didn't want to, so now you can let me finish my point.
Okay, so
Okay.
make your point.
Yeah, I'm going to make my point. So anyways, what I was saying was people feeling a certain way doesn't actually amount to much of anything. So all you're saying is that the Democrats didn't pass any policy that was anti-crime, and you're just all up in your fifis about crime, okay? So that's all it was. So now if you'd like to move on to immigration, you're more than happy to.
So here's my point about crime. If you look at the Bay, I think it's the Oakland or the Bay Area Economic Council. It's something like that. The Oakland Economic Council did a crime study on Oakland. When you look at the results of the surveys that they did and the data they gathered, 64 people in Oakland's urban area felt unsafe going to work. Dozens and dozens and dozens of businesses left the urban area of Oakland, the downtown area, because when you look at the days, you see this in cities across the country. There's a very popular example recently of the Ukrainian woman who was murdered on a bus. The guy was let out of prison 14 times. You look at the people in New York, I think it's something around 80% of crimes are committed by 10% of the population, repeat offenders. What happens over and over and over.
Thank you for proving my point.
I'll prove your point.
You're literally proving that even though we have the statistics to show that crime is not up, that people look at things on television and then they feel a certain way. Okay,
no, sir,
and that is what we call fear mongering. That we were. No, sir, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay.
This is unbelievable.
No, I don't care if you're, sir. No one's forcing you to. You don't let me finish anything.
Point.
You don't let me. You haven't let me finish a single. You have not let me finish a single sentence since I've been in this entire conversation. Okay, so thank you so much for proving my point. Okay, and saying that people just feel a certain way, but you're saying that people are voting against Democratic policies. Okay, and yet you have not shown a singular Democratic policy whatsoever that was done by the Biden administration, that was done by the Obama administration, or anybody else's. Actually, what you're seeing is their actual crime policies actually help to improve crime. Okay, that's the reality of the actual situation. So again, for the second time, okay, for the fourth time, I think I've actually asked you. So what is the actual Democratic policy that you're voting against? Okay. What is the actual Democratic policy that you're actually voting against? Okay. That increases crime.
That is a flip of what I'm saying, and I see what you're trying to do. I'm not saying that there's Democrat policies that directly cause crime, obviously. I'm saying that the policy platform that you see a lot of Democrats in power run on, you see this in, as I said, big cities with DAs, letting people out of jail over and over, getting rid of cash bail, having no sentences. You see California raising the shoplifting limit up to $1,000. Look at what's happening in Santa Monica right now. It's the highest retail vacancy rate in over a decade.
because $1,000 in California is very small in compared to $1,000 in other places.
Insurance companies are leaving the state because of one, fire mismanagement. Like you look at the homeless,
sir, I live in Florida. There's almost no insurers here, and that's a Republican-run state. Insurance companies leaving the state sir. We don't have tornadoes in Florida.
How can a state?
We don't have. Yeah, that's happening in Arizona. That's happening in Texas. We're seeing insurance companies leave in all sorts of different states, sir. Okay, but no, sir. I'm asking you to make the point, and you're not making the point. Okay, sir. If you just want to cry, then please leave, sir. If you just want to sit up here and cry, sir. No, you're not. You're whining. Okay.
What are you raising?
You are whining. Okay. What you're complaining,
to get arrested for is that is a
That's not to
policy
get
enacted by
arrested for,
Democrats
sir.
in power.
Sir, that's not even to get arrested for it. That's not what the change was.
Fine, felony categorization, whatever.
So
They
you
raised the
knew
legal
what you
limit.
were saying was a lie, and you still chose to fearmonger on
That's
here.
not a lie. I'm trying.
No,
I'm
it is. You
actively
literally,
having
sir,
conversation.
you literally just said
are
it
you
changes whether
talking
you
about?
could get arrested or not. And then when I said, actually, that's not what it is, and they're like, well,
What-
actually, it's the felony designation. What's the designation in Texas, by the way?
What do you think?
What is the
do you
number
really
designation,
insane.
sir? What
Do
is
you
the
think
what
that
is
when
the
people
felony
listen to you
designation
and
in
they hear
Texas?
you
What is
say,
the number for the
someone
felony
try to
designation in Texas?
Catch a victory over someone misspeaking and saying a arrested versus
Sir,
a
what is the
felony-
number for the felony designation in Texas?
That's just like that's.
Sir, what
Do you
is the
really
number
think-
for
read
a
the chat,
felony
dude.
designation in Texas?
It's like it's just crazy, bro.
Are you not going to answer the question?
Every time I try to make a point,
Okay,
you
I will
just
make the
interrupt me
point.
in the
I
middle
will.
of
I
it.
will make the point for you. It's higher than $1,000. Okay, it's
Dude,
like $2,000 for a felony designation in Texas. Texas, which is completely Republican ran and runs completely off of Republican policies. Okay,
It's just not-
but you're making the
that's just
designation
exactly
right
not
now
true.
that
Dallas, Fort
California,
Worth,
because they raised it from
Houston, El
$500,
Paso,
because they
every
raised it
major
from
city in
$500,
Texas
because they raised
is
it from
ran by Democrats.
$500. Okay, because they raised it from $500 to $1,000. You say, "Oh, California is a horrible place because they raised the designation," even though in Texas it's like $2,000. Okay, but you don't say that Republicans are anti-crime enforcement because they did that, do you?
Hello? Hello?
What?
Okay, so can I continue?
Are you going to respond to what I said?
What was the culmination of your point?
There wasn't a culmination of my
Shut
point.
up.
There was just a singular point. You should have been listening. Texas is
Oh,
already
you've been
higher than
talking over
California.
more.
There's
Okay.
there's multiple Republican states that are in the United States that are that have a felony designation higher than $1,000 or $1,000 or higher.
Yo, so I think this is kind of pointless going back and forth over these things because it's very clear to me that we're not going to kind of
Sir,
reach
you
an
are
agreement
no,
over
sir,
this.
sir. This is back to your whining,
please
and I
let me
don't
make
want to
my
hear
point?
your
Can you-
whining. No. I said
Sir,
a thing.
I'm not
I want you to
whining.
respond.
I'm trying to.
Sir, I want you to listen and then respond to what I said.
Who
Okay?
do you think you are, dude? Can you please let me speak?
Yes, you can speak when you respond to what I said. Okay?
And that's what
There
I'm
are
doing, and
multiple-
you are interrupting me
There are
constantly.
multiple Republican states in the United States right now that have a felony designation of $1,000 or a higher designation for it to be a felony than $1,000. So why do you
What-
not
like,
blame?
I don't.
Sir,
I
then
don't-
why
like, I'm
are you?
not
See,
talking
this is
about-
what. See, remember how I said that you haven't let me finish a singular sentence? Here we are again. Okay, you want to get mad about being cut off, but you have cut me off on every sentence that I've said this entire conversation. You want to be able
Every
to, sir.
time
And
I
here we
try
go
to
again.
speak
And
in
here
a-
we go again. You want to be
Dude.
able. You want to be able to cut me off whenever you feel like it. But when I cut you off back, you want to whine like a petulant child. So my advice to you is, okay, if you can't dish it, if you can't take it, then don't dish it out. Okay?
Dude, this is
Awesome.
crazy.
So here's the last time I'm going to try to make my sentence. You will be quiet while I say it, and then you will respond to what I said. If you mess up either of those, I will hang up the phone. Cool? You said it is Democratic policies like raising the felony designation from $500 to $1,000 in order for it to be considered a felony theft in California. But there are multiple Republican states in the United States right now that felony designation was already at $1,000 or it is actually higher than $1,000. So why is it when Democrats do it, it is that Democrats are soft on crime, but when Republicans do it, Republicans are strong on crime?
Can I make my point now? Can I finish what I was trying to say initially? Hello? Okay.
It's insane.
Basically, the point that I was trying to make before you interrupted me for
All right. I gave him the exact rules. Be quiet, let me finish, and respond to what I said. It weren't difficult rules. They're actually some of the easiest rules we've ever had. Super, super easy rules. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, Glizzy Glock said, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, I'm a Republican, but I appreciate your open
insane.
conversations. Thank you for being a good American. Thank you so much, Glizzy Glock. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. See, I have lots of Republicans that follow me. There's tons of them. Oh my goodness. Just a ghostwriter. Thank you so much. You were just killing it on the jewels. I have to get through all the jewels to even get to where I'm going over here. Dave the train guy. How you been, Dave the train guy? I really appreciate that. So I'm currently stranded to the car company and having a dead battery. Want a train fact? Dave, if you had taken the train, then this wouldn't have been a problem. How's it going? Big W's in chat for Dave the train guy. And Shay, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Said thank you for all you do. Love your show. Huge W's for the huge $50 super chat from Shay. Thank you so much, Shay, for that. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Terrell, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, have you ever thought about doing a debate episode on Jubilee? Not really. I watch Jubilee. Some of them are amusing, but for the most part, I think it's kind of, whatever. But thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, Terrell. All right, we're going to actually get to a caller that can actually engage in the conversation, hopefully. And then that'll probably be my last one for the day, but we'll see. Let's see if we can get one that can actually engage in the conversation. Hello, how are you?
I made it back.
Oh, it's AI is back. Hello, how are you?
You walked out. Nigger.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good.
That's awesome. How old are you?
I'm 37 right now.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
You just still think that we need to get more church and religion in the school system.
We should get some better phones in the system.
No, we need to get church, faith, and religion back in the.
Well, how are we going to get them there without decent reception? I heard T-Mobile has better towers.
Well, I also heard that people that just.
Sir, I can't understand half the fucking words you're saying, dude. It sounds like you're talking to me from the other side of a tin can and a string.
But how's this? Is that any better?
Oh,
Since
so
you're just
much
sitting
better.
around wasting time and messing people's faith and beliefs up.
I'm messing people's faiths and beliefs up? Well, if I mess up your faith and belief, then I don't think you had a very strong faith or belief to begin with.
Also, I know for a fact that if God and religion was back in the school systems, a lot of our issues wouldn't be like this.
Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Can we get 666 in the chat and a Hail Satan? Can we get a bunch of 666 in the chat and a Hail Satan? Let's see this chat fill this up.
Doesn't believe in making fun of people.
Oh,
right?
God, sir, I feel like I'm in hell right now.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, as they keep saying, you gotta profess things, and then it come to life.
All right, I
So I'm
profess
guessing
that
you just
talking
want
to
to be
you
enjoying
is literal
burning
torture.
in hell with everyone else.
Sir, hell has to be more fun than this conversation.
No, it's not.
It has to be, because this is about the
Because
worst
let's see
torture
here,
that we
you
could
just want to
possibly
sit
get.
there and preach to people. So let me guess, your type of hell would be getting basically effed in the face by Satan for all eternity,
That sounds
where
like
you
gr-
can't
that sounds like a
breathe, and
great
it's all
time.
agony.
Oh, he's gonna make me choke. I like it.
Oh, so I guess you're gay, and you're lesbo.
I'm gay and lesbian. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, so I guess also when you have that gonorrhea and everything else too, you're
Satan
going to
has
be loving it
Satan
too.
has gonorrhea.
I mean, it's
You would
not
think
positive. It's not religious.
You would think you. I mean, I didn't see that anywhere in the Bible. To be completely honest with you.
Well, also everything that comes from God is positive. Everything that isn't from God.
Satan comes from God.
No, his actual
Satan
faith
comes
and
from
his
God.
desire,
Satan
then
was
prove it.
created by
Prove
God,
it.
and you
What
said
scripture? Tell me what scripture
did
right
God
now.
not create everything?
Tell me what scripture.
Yeah, in the beginning,
What
God created the
reference?
heavens and the earth. God created everything, including the angels. And since the concept of Lucifer, which actually isn't biblical, is actually a fallen angel, then God created that. And you just said all things from God are good,
It's
so therefore
still
Satan is
not
good.
what
So
I
again,
asked.
hail
What
Satan!
scripture?
Hail
What
Satan!
scripture? You want to live by the
May
book?
the God of
then
the
you gotta preach
Underlord
the
come
book.
up and save us all. You
You got to remember, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by the
Satan's
messed
sword?
up tongue, you're going to die by it too.
Satan's sword?
It's insane.
I mean, you're talking to a preacher's
Heyo.
kid and a miracle child that was dead in the womb and came back to life.
Heyo. Satan's gonna use his sword.
So I'm guessing.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next call because I do want to get one in. Dad, I might not be able to get one in, man. These freaking children are wasting my time. Tobin, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. With the 666. With the 666 for the Hail Satan up in the house. Hello?
Hey, are you still on about the topic of Trump?
Yep.
Okay. What are some questions you get asked me about?
I don't want to ask
I'm
you
not
any
interested in
questions.
This whole Trump thing.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, and I love niggers.
Okay. What else?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
And? Where'd you go? Guys, I'm letting you know right now if you're like cruising through or whatever. I get called the N-word by like 3 Trump supporters a night. Okay? You're not original and it does not bother me. Okay? You're not original and it does not bother me anymore, okay? Sorry. Should have tried that 2 years ago. But that'll
What, 2 years
doesn't-
ago when I was still doing pretty good?
Yeah, it literally does not faze me anymore, dude. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm not a Trump supporter. I was just watching. People are getting mad that you're interrupting, and misinformation has gotten us this far where we have someone who can't pronounce acetaminophen telling us it's dangerous, so you should be interrupting people spreading misinformation.
Hey, look, I'm more than happy to engage in conversation, but if you're just gonna think you're gonna just say some bullshit and then carry on your sentence, then we're gonna talk about it. That's all I'm saying.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah, if
People
you're gonna
get
say
mad,
some-
they're like, well, why is he asking them not to interrupt?
Yeah, if you're gonna say some bullshit, then we're gonna stop in the middle of that bullshit and we're gonna address that bullshit right there, straight up. Don't think you're gonna say some crazy shit to me and then just carry on like that shit was normal. You must be out of your whole fucking mind. Like we got.
But thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing.
I like this caller. W's in the chat for this caller. I needed that right now.
Oh yeah, no,
I
you're
needed
doing
that.
great. I'm watching you in the chat. You're doing great.
Well, I really
Have a good one.
appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Okay.
You too.
Yeah. See, and this is why I actually have quite a few callers quite a few people here that are Trump supporters that follow me, that are members and subscribers and all sorts of stuff in my life. Because there's something about just addressing the. I think this girl Tiana. I think
It's insane.
I think this girl Tiana might be the AI caller. Hold on, she literally put in the chat, dude, I'm not AI. Hold on. She literally. Is that you that's been calling in? Bro, there's no way you're not AI. Is that really you? I'm waiting for her to respond. Bro, she might actually be a real person. That's it. Thank you. Hold on. Where'd they put it? Sorry. Yeah, that's exactly what AI would say. I'm not AI is exactly what AI would say. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if I trust it or not. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. This feels like a trap. It's a trap. She did, y'all. She did sound. I was in theater for 4 years. Oh, well, thank you for your service. I really appreciate that. Are you the actual literal voice for like the call answering service for like Geico? Jay Lee, thank you so much for this, the $13.666. I really appreciate that. God, which one were you? Because I wasn't going to take another caller, but I feel like I do need to answer the phone. Call right now. I don't think this is the number. Hello?
Hello.
No, you're not it. Hello?
Hello?
No, not you. Hello?
Yes, hello?
No, not you either. I know it wasn't that. I think it's this one. Hello?
Hi.
Is this Tiana?
It's not. I'm sorry. I'm a completely different person.
Oh, I'm trying to find AI girl.
I'm sorry to disappoint. I know, joke. I'm not AI.
Yeah, you don't sound like
but-
AI at all. That's no fun. I'm trying to wait for her to call in because I was gonna, since I did hang up on her twice, I was gonna call in and talk to her another
Yeah.
time.
I'm
But-
not her, so feel free to hang up. If
I'm
you wanna
sorry.
keep
Please
waiting
call
for her.
back. I'll be back on Saturday morning. Call back then, please. I appreciate you guys. The only person I want to talk to is AI girl right now. All right, hold on. Hello?
Hey, I'm not AI.
Are you the same person?
And I don't know.
You sound less
Yes,
AI
it's
now.
me.
Say
I was,
say thank you for
really
say thank
nervous
you
at
for
first.
calling
I was
movie
like,
phone.
Oh my God, people are going to hear me. But yes, I support Trump. I've been trying to say this for like ever.
Say like in your just normal voice, like thank you for calling movie phone.
Thank you for calling movie phone.
Oh my God, it is you. Oh my God, that's so
No, it's
creepy.
not.
Oh my God, that's so creepy.
I need to
Holy
be paid.
shit.
Okay, if somebody is using my voice, I need money.
Bro, you are hold on. Hold on one sec. I gotta, because I wasn't even gonna take another caller. I'm like really supposed to get off and I'm supposed to go eat because I have to
Thank
be
you
up
for
early
taking my
tomorrow.
call. I've been trying for a minute.
Hold on. I'm gonna save I'm gonna say this as AI, so if I talk to you, I don't like hang up on you. Hold on.
I
Not
appreciate that, but
not AI. Okay, that's what I just saved you as. Not AI. I don't normally I don't normally save people, but I gotta make sure.
100% not AI.
All right.
I can say potato.
You did say you were going to say potato in the chat. All right, fine.
Yeah,
Well, then, how about this? I don't have a lot of time, but since I did hang up on you multiple times, okay, I will let you make 1 point. We'll have a conversation about it, and then I got to get off the night. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All
Thank
right,
you
go
for
for
taking
it.
my call.
Absolutely.
Okay. The reason why I support Trump is because I feel like I kind of got pushed out of the left, for having what I feel like are common sense views. And I'm going to just go ahead and fast forward. It's on the whole trans debate and, women who say they're women are women, but I'm a woman. I'm pregnant now with twins. And to me, anytime I brought that viewpoint to the table to anybody on the left, I was immediately shelved with saying, you're this, you're that. But in reality, I'm literally just a person with an opinion. And I felt like I was pushed under the Trump umbrella. And I was like, so where he stands on that issue, like, I think there's nothing more insulting to a woman than a man coming to me and saying, I know what it is to be a woman, and you can't tell me I don't. But I
don't know what it's like to be a woman.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But I'm
And
not a
so-
woman.
Right. And so
but
then there
I think that you're making it. I think you're confusing like a few different things here, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? Like, and just be honest. First of all, no one's forcing you into anything, okay? No one's forced. How if you? I'm sorry, I don't think I asked you this earlier. How old are you?
I'm 27.
You're 27 years old. Okay. Do you know who Bad Bunny is?
Yeah.
Okay, I had to think of somebody that's, an entertainer that's a lot younger than me. Okay. Is Bad Bunny his real name?
No.
Okay. Is he an actual bunny?
No.
Okay. Are you forced to call him Bad Bunny?
No, you're not.
But do you?
Yes, I do call him Bad Bunny. And
okay,
I see the point that you're trying to
maybe
make,
his
but I'm
name
gonna
is
let you finish.
I don't know what his actual real name is. I'm sure I could Google it. We're gonna say his name's Alfred. I don't fucking know. Okay. But you have no problem calling him Bad Bunny because he just said, "Hey, I just wanted you to call me Bad Bunny," and we're like, "Cool." For someone more my age, it'd be like, Dr. Dre, right? I have no problem. Oh, it's Benito. See, a bunch of people in my chat know his actual name. I'm still gonna call him Alfred. I don't care. He looks like an Alfred to me. Okay, but it's no different from like calling like Dr. Dre. He's not even a doctor, right? I wouldn't trust him to do anything. All right. When trans people say like, "Hey,
It's insane.
I conform." Okay, I want to conform to the social norms of what women, associate in the United States. Okay, they're conforming to what we consider as womanhood. Okay, that's not saying that they can have children because there's lots of there's lots of women that are biologically female that can't have children. Being able to bear children is not necessarily a trait of what we would call a woman, right? Like we have people in the United States that are born with multiple, sexual organs, right? And they're still assigned a gender at birth, right? And we don't think anything about that, right? So it's not that no one's trying to take your womanhood from you. Okay, if you are a woman,
that's not exactly how I feel.
Okay, well, what is how you feel? Because that's kind of how I heard it.
Let me better articulate what I'm trying to say. Okay, so. And you say that nothing is forced. And like, I get the point that you're trying to make with Bad Bunny. Like, I'm choosing to call him Bad Bunny, but he's a performer. This is understood. I understand he's not an actual bunny, but my problem comes in where I work with somebody who is trans, and Morgan used to go by Greg, and I respect Morgan. Okay. I choose to call Morgan by their chosen name. So I don't want this to feel like, their experience isn't valid. And I hate when people say but after things like this, but I don't think that we should limit what a man is by saying, like, I hate that Morgan felt like they had to transition to feel like they were worthy, but God made them perfect. And if Morgan wants to do the things that women do normally in society, that's perfectly okay. And that is acceptable as a man. Now, whether or not, because if you say, you know what, I'm a woman, I want to identify as a woman, I am not just the clothes that I wear or the makeup on my face or the shoes I wear. I mean, to me, that's almost insulting.
Do you wear makeup?
Yes, I do wear makeup.
Why? God made you perfect.
And I do believe he made me perfect, but he didn't give me everything. Okay. So
well, I'm just saying, I wear glasses. God didn't make me perfect, right? Like my vision's not perfect. Like some girls, in order to conform more to some women in the United States, right? Not saying you, I have no idea. I have no idea what you look like at all, right? So, but I'm saying, like, I have friends of mine, right, that in order to better conform to what we consider womanhood in the United States, right, have had breast augmentations, right? Sometimes, larger, sometimes smaller, right? In a way to conform to how in the United States we view womanhood, right? I mean, if you even want to look how we consider beauty in this country, right? It's all subjective and it changes consistently, right?
Absolutely,
right,
100%.
And so when we're talking about someone conforming, we do lots of things that are what's considered gender affirming care, right? Botox, breast augmentations, dyeing our hair, right? Plucking our eyebrows, right? Wearing glasses can even be considered. Like, there is a reason why I wear these glasses and not different glasses, right? Because I feel that
But
these
if
glasses,
you did wear different glasses, that'd be okay,
of
and
course
you'd
it
still
is.
be a man nonetheless.
Of course it is,
And
right? But what I'm saying
and I
is
feel
like,
like
we have these standards that we have, right? These standards that we have are all made up by culture, right? They're all made up by culture. Within our society, we decide, hey, this is more masculine and this is more feminine, right? And we all kind of come together in that and we change as we go. All that's saying is, it like for someone that is born out of, within a biological male, right? Saying that I want to conform to what us in our society consider a woman to be, whatever that may be to them. That's really all it is, right? I want to conform to the standards in which our society has created for women. That's it.
But see, then the only problem that I have with this, and I know it's like, okay, but what's the actual problem? So then, I was actually forced out of a Planet Fitness because there was a man who, I'm just going to say he was a man, okay? He came in with a 5 o'clock shadow with purple lipstick on and his wig in a bag. And I was changing just in the women's locker room, just, getting down to it. And then in comes the man on his phone, and he sits on the bench on his phone the entire time. I go out, do some exercises, forget in my locker, come back. He's still on his phone in the corner, bag. Still has his wig in it. Still, and then he's got a curling iron set up, and I'm just like, whoa, what's going on here? But I can't say anything to anybody because then all of a sudden you're a bigot. Why are you saying anything? You should be accepting of this, but where do we draw the line?
It's insane.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I'm walking around and I'm also pregnant, so I'm like out of breath.
I'm sorry. I change in locker rooms all the time. I go to the gym consistently and I end up changing locker rooms. Guess what? I'm pretty much, there's always some person in the locker room that's making me feel uncomfortable, but they're not bothering me. Okay? They're not bothering me, right? There is 100% chance that every single time I go to the gym, there is an 80-year-old guy who has decided that he is going to dry his toes, okay, butt naked with his whole booty hole out facing directly at me, okay? And it is very, very awkward and makes me feel very, very uncomfortable, okay, every single time. But they're not bothering me. I put my head down and I just go change, right? Sometimes usually facing like the lockers, right? So like I'm not doing, I'm not making someone else feel uncomfortable, right? So like, but I'm not trying to how do I say this? I'm not trying to say that the discomfort you feel is wrong or that the discomfort that you feel is not valid, okay? If you don't feel comfortable with something, that is fine, okay? And I think that as a society, we need to change the way that we do things. Like, personally, I'd like to see all
the way we have conversations.
Right. I would like to see just like all locker rooms just go to not a giant open room so I don't have to see freaking Cletus's, whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But like,
we could have single stalls, and then the thing is, it's like, okay, so I
minimize.
I do not mean to cut you off. But it's like, okay, Polly, I see you. Okay, you're a big, strong man. Okay, so when you go into the locker room, I'm sure that 80-year-old man, he don't stand a chance if he really tried to step to you. Right? But see, this man,
I would hope not.
A lot bigger than me. I hope not either. Unless some things swing and they really can hit you. But I mean, I think you're good.
Yeah.
But that man, that person that came into the bathroom, let me give this person the benefit of the doubt. If I were to say anything or have any other opinion, I can't say anything or even have a conversation with this person because immediately it turns hostile. In that hostility upon trying to have conversation to better seek understanding, because, I've talked to Morgan. I think Morgan's a great person. And I also hate that Morgan felt like, who they were, wasn't enough as, as they were. They
Of course
weren't
they were
enough.
enough.
They felt like they had to change.
Of course they were enough.
They were enough, and they're super.
They,
super,
they
super
know that they
level.
were enough. That's not a confusion. They're just matching, like making the outside match the inside. Okay. Again, something that we all try to do. But let's also be very clear. I want to address another point that you said in there, right? I really do need to address that. Okay. I don't know, like, I don't know if you're, like what size you are, but there's probably women out there that would be in that locker room that could probably whoop the shit out of you and do the exact same thing. And if you actually look at the statistics and the data, there is a lot more data to show that, unfortunately, me, who's dressing in the other locker room, is much more likely to hurt you or do something to you than any trans person is going to, right? I mean, statistically, right? You're much more likely to be, assaulted at church by a member of a clergy. And I don't mean like slightly more likely. I mean, overwhelmingly, like, I think it's like freaking 20 times more likely to be assaulted by a member of clergy at your church than you are by any type of trans person. I think 20 is actually kind of low. I'd have to look at the data again, to be completely honest with you. But just because someone's in a locker room makes you feel uncomfortable, and I'm not trying to diminish the fact that you feel uncomfortable. If you feel uncomfortable, that is a valid feeling, right? But I think you're feeling uncomfortable for the wrong reason, right? Like you're assuming that person inside of that room is trying to hurt you. And honestly, to be completely honest with you, as a woman, you probably have every right to believe that men are trying to hurt you. We've honestly done a very bad job of proving that we won't, right? Like
And so how do you
just
tell?
statistically,
Like, as a woman,
statistically, you know what I'm saying? I'll
Because there
tell
are
you this how I
men-
tell. I'll tell you this how you tell. And
Okay.
this is my opinion. Okay, this is not data, facts. I work in data and facts normally, but this is not data, facts. This is my opinion. Okay. Anybody that was trying to harm you wouldn't be walking in there very openly in the open day with a wig in their bag. Okay, that's a really, really, really bad way. Okay, I would assume to try to sneak around hurting someone. Right. The person that's trying to hurt you is going to be the person that's not being open about it because they're trying to do something nefarious. Right. And people that are trying to do things that are nefarious aren't going to just be like, oh, I'm trans, so I'm just going to walk into the locker room and do something, right? And again,
Not necessarily, though.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. But again, no, that sign is not stopping anyone from walking into that locker room. You know that, right? Like, if
No,
somebody wants
yes,
to hurt you.
I do know that. I know that.
That sign is not stopping someone. If somebody
doesn't
wants
stop
to do
anybody.
harm to you, they're going to walk right
They're
past
gonna
that
do it.
fucking sign, and they're going to do it, right? And I'm
Absolutely.
just saying, nobody needs to transition or be a trans person or conform to different standards in order to do that, right? They just can't, right? So we need to trust our system that people are not trying, that we are here to stop people that are doing harm, right? No one is going to go through years of therapy and the medical treatment, the gender affirming care, and sometimes surgery, right? No one is going to go
But
through
not
all
everybody
of
goes
that.
Through that, though.
I'm
is
sorry?
what I'm saying. I said not everybody goes through that, and I'm not saying that. And my thing is that who is taking on that expense of trusting the system? Because it's not men, it's us women. And so I'm not saying that every trans person who walks into the bathroom is going to assault me. I don't believe that. I would walk into the bathroom holding Morgan's hand. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But when you crack the door, you let everybody in. And I think there are bad people in this world who will say I'm trans to get their foot in the door.
Yeah,
when
but statistically,
when they
it's
are
not happening.
not
But
under
it's not.
bad intentions, and women assume that risk because if I'm being honest, men, I'm sure, you know what? I'm not gonna brag, but I'm a little muscular. But I still, as strong as I am, I cannot beat a man. Period. Okay, I'm just being honest.
But there's also a chance that a
I'm
woman
strong.
comes
My
in
dad's
there.
a bodybuilder.
But there's also a chance a woman walks in there and hits you over the head and takes you and sex traffics you.
Okay. But if that was going to happen, that's going to happen to a woman.
Exactly. And if
It
it's
was
going to
gonna happen
happen,
to
it's going to happen with a trans person. There is always a chance that somebody is a bad person And there is always a chance that that bad person is going to do something. That 80-year-old guy, I know you think I'm like a big, strong man, right? There's a chance that 80-year-old man, right, pulls a freaking weapon on me and freaking takes me and freaking, next thing I know, I'm freaking, in a bathtub with my kidney missing. You know what I'm saying?
See, I mean,
There's
we could say,
always
okay,
a chance that a
if bad
bad
things are
person.
gonna happen, they're gonna happen.
But that is exactly what it is. Bad people are going to do bad things, right? But when we look at the data, when we look at violent crime, when we look at sexual assaults, when we look at all of those things, right? It's not trans people in bathrooms that are doing it. It's just not. It's not trans people in bathrooms. It's not trans people in locker rooms that are doing it. It is cis white males, cis white Christian males, right? That is the people that are doing it. Just
pretending to be trans who will go into the bathrooms and will do these horrible things.
Why would they pretend to be trans? Why don't they just walk into the bathrooms and do it anyway?
Because, we're supposed to be more tolerant and more accepting of these things. So you might see it, notice it, but because you don't want to be, the bigot on the street, you're not going to say anything. So then they come in and they keep coming in and you don't, and then they build some trust and then it could happen. I mean, I might be a really paranoid woman, but
sounds like it.
I mean, it's
because what you're saying could happen could also happen right outside of that gym door where they just meet you at the elliptical and they build some trust, and then next thing you know, bing bam, thank you ma'am, and you're gone. Everything that you're describing happens outside of a locker room every single day in this country.
But a locker room is a more intimate setting. Okay, I highly doubt, like, if I was going to be groped, it wouldn't be on an elliptical. It would be in passing in a locker room.
Ma'am, if you're groped if you're groped in passing in a locker room, I advise you call the police and have that person arrested, regardless of whether they're trans, not trans, male, female, man, woman, whatever it is. If somebody gropes you in the locker room, you should call the police.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that doesn't increase your likelihood because the person is trans. Okay. I have lots of people I know that are trans, right? People that I call friends, right? It sounds like you also have people in your life that are also trans, right? And just like those trans people are just people trying to live their everyday life who are not trying to hurt someone, who are not trying to be negatives on other people's lives. Okay. Just like the straight people or cis people or whatever's around you, most of them are not trying to do anything. I hope everybody around you, right, are not trying to do those horrible things. Right.
And
but someone being trans does not increase that likelihood. Someone trying to use the locker room that conforms to their gender does not increase that likelihood. And actually, like I said, if you really want to look at it, it actually decreases your likelihood. I'll tell you this. I have a 14-year-old daughter and I'll trust her with fucking every trans person that I fucking, that I know or I've ever met before I trust her a day inside of a fucking church. And that's just fucking facts. And that's just fucking facts. Okay.
And that's okay. That's okay. But I still feel like being able just to have this discussion was good for me, because a lot of the times when you have a different opinion from what is widely accepted on the left by most Democrats, if you have anything that opposes that, all of a sudden you're incapable of empathy, of reason, of logic, and it pushed me so far from the left. I wouldn't even say I'm super right. I would say I'm pretty center right leaning, but being made to feel like my opinion is evil or invalid, and trust me, my opinion doesn't necessarily have to do with trans people. It is people, cis men who pretend to be trans. But then it's like, how do you know?
I'm sorry, have you ever met one of these people?
Yes.
You met a cis man that's pretending to be trans?
Oh, no.
Neither have I.
Not that I knew of.
Neither have I.
Neither have I. But there are
I'll be honest with you, I've never even heard of one.
Okay.
I've truly like, and let's be completely honest, right? Like, Like I spend a lot of time in right wing news, you know, like in all sorts of different, like listening to all sorts of stuff. I feel like if there was a straight man who was pretending to be trans in order to hurt a woman, I feel like that is all I would hear about ever for like months on end, like months on end. But I've never even heard of it, which makes me think it's not fucking happening. Like, cause trust me, if one instance of something happens, being in the position that I'm in, I hear about it consistently. I hear about it over and 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 over. And I watch things like
So
Fox
what about-
News and stuff like that to make sure that I catch up on, and I don't even hear it on there. But hey, AI girl, I am going to have to let you go because like I said, I took your call because I had hung up on you. I've been on about 23 minutes with you. So I do have to get off so I can actually be at work tomorrow morning. Because I have stuff to do. But thank you for calling in. I hope we had a good conversation. All right.
Thank you, Polly. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. All right, OS, thank you so much. It says, as a trans person, I want to transition despite society's view on trans people because it will align with my sense of self. I hope that I didn't say anything, OS, that that was offensive to you. I hope that wasn't you correcting me on anything like that. I try to handle that the best that I can. So I don't think I said anything too wrong. But thank you, OS. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And Stacy says, so cis men are the problem, but let's use that as a reason to villainize trans women. Makes perfect sense. I'm so sick of this. Yes, Stacy, I completely agree. Like we know who the problem is. We know who the problem is. I don't know why we keep pretending like we don't know who the problem is. We know who the problem is. It's cis men. And I'm a cis man. And I can still say we're the problem. It's not really that hard to figure out in your head. But thank you so much, Stacy. Sorry, I was looking for another comment from OS just because I do like. Oh wait, I just saw it. No, you're Gucci. OS said no, I'm Gucci. Then I'm Gucci. Thank you so much, Stacy. I appreciate that. All right, cool. I do my best. Hey, but I'm always open to feedback. If I ever fuck up anything, please let me know. I'll be more than happy. And Lay, thank you so much for the $2 Venmo. Says 666 Hail Satan. Thank you so much. I will be back on around 10 a.m. Saturday morning. I'll be off tomorrow. I love y'all. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys later, all right? Love you guys. Bye.